Today I'm at Castle Combe. It's a race circuit located near Chippenham in Wiltshire. I believe this area is part of the Cotswolds. It's around about 17 to 18 miles northeast of Bath. It used to be an RAF base during World War II and it was repurposed in 1950 as a race circuit. The circuit is 1.8 miles long and it encircles the old runway. The lap record is held by a Formula 3 Cup car. I believe it's 58.956 seconds. Of course, I won't be going anywhere near that today. Hopefully I can get it under 2 minutes. I've done some sighting laps, so I know roughly where things are, but I don't know my way around. Although I did get a telling off for the sighting laps. I went and did them without signing on, and that's because I was late. It was supposed to take 2 hours 50 minutes to get here, but it took 3.5 hours. So I just about made it in time for the sighting laps, and I was worried if I didn't do them I'll miss my day. But no, I got a very stern telling off and I was told if you miss the sighting laps, still sign on and you can still do the day, but never go on circuit without the wristband. So, point taken. Anyway, I'm going to try and learn the circuit because I don't really know where I'm going at the moment. And when I think I know what I'm doing, I'll talk you through 1 or 2 laps. There's usually a queue here, but wow, this is the second time there hasn't been a queue. It's getting later in the day now, so it's getting quieter. It's really tight through here. You need to be careful. If you had a wide supercar, this might be difficult, especially this little chicane up here. Yeah, this is narrow, especially this bit right here. So I'm going to head up towards those 2 cones. You might not be able to see the traffic lights on camera yet, but that's where the speed limit ends. It's around about 40 miles an hour, 60 kilometers per hour. Down into second gear, going to join the circuit now, so checking to see if it's safe. Looks good, full throttle, and we're off. So, I'm going to brake near that yellow cone on the right. So I'm braking, off the brake, use the momentum of the car now, and then brake again here, down into third, and try and maintain as much speed through this bend. Full power now and onto the outside. Up to 4th gear, braking at this yellow cone, down into 3rd gear, peeling off the brake, trying to get as close to the tyres as I can, and then try and go as straight as I can here using all the road so I can maintain speed. Off the gas a little bit here, angle the car now full throttle at that right angle into the inside apex, onto the outside apex, and then move over to the right to get a better line for this next braking area. Braking now into 3rd, peeling off the brake, trying to maintain as much speed through here. Already on the gas at full throttle now, drifting to the outside, left foot ready, braking here. Peeling off the brake, getting close to the tyres, trying to avoid the next tyres and go as straight as I can, so I use all of the road onto the outside apex. I can stay on the inside here, no need to drift to the outside yet, it's just longer. And now I can gradually drift over to the outside. In 4th gear, braking at this yellow cone now. Down into 3rd, try and maintain as much speed through this bend, already on the gas, already at full throttle, onto the apex, and then onto the outside apex. Up to 4th, this is the tricky bit. Gets bumpy, I'm going to do 5th gear here, just so I can hold onto the steering wheel, as it gets a bit bumpy there. And now when I get to this yellow cone, brake, down into 4th, off the brake, use the momentum, brake again, down into 3rd, reduce the brake, add power, maintain as much speed as I can, more power, full power now, drifting onto the outside apex. There we go. Up to 4th, braking, down to 3rd, peel off the brake, really close to the tyres. Now as straight as I can here, all of the road, all of that road, like that, so I can get full throttle. Back off the power so I can reposition the car now, full throttle again at this new position, clip the inside apex, missed it, missed the outside as well, could have done that one a bit quicker. Over to the right, get a good line for the next braking zone, which is here, brake, down into 3rd, peel off the brake, maintain that speed, gradually add power, full throttle now, drifting to the outside, left foot ready, brake, peel off the brake near the tyres on the inside, miss these tyres and go as straight as I can onto the outside apex, and staying on the inside here as I go faster and up the gears. Now drifting to the left, waiting for my next braking zone, which is around about near this lane here, brake, down to 3rd, peel off the brake, maintain this speed, more power inside apex, more power now full throttle, outside apex. Quite pleased with that one, did that well. And there's a couple of laps of Castle Combe. Now for the scary bits. Oh, I don't like that bit. It's too bumpy. I'm doing over 100 miles an hour. Whoop, brake, don't forget where I am. Peel off the brake, use the momentum, brake again, down to third, and then add some power towards the exit of this bend. Oh, that's about as fast as I can go. The car is sliding there a little bit. Didn't want to turn any more than that. So, my thoughts on Castle Combe. Well, before I showed you that talk through, I'd done around about 30 to 40 laps. I've still got a couple of hours left in the day, so I may get better, and if I do, I'll post a faster lap. I think it's quite a good circuit. It looks a little bit boring when you look at the map, because it just looks like a circle with a couple of little bends in it. But actually the bends are challenging. What I don't like about it are the bumps. There's quite a few bumps in places. In some places there's not much runoff, and the apexes are narrow as well. Well, some of them are quite narrow. But I am enjoying myself. It is a fun circuit. I think it would take a while to really learn it because of the bumps. You want to take it easy here. You don't want to go out there and go full chat straight away, even if you think you know how quickly you can go around a bend, because there are places where the car just becomes unsettled. So you really want to learn the circuit before you press on if you want to look after your car. What's good about this place is they don't allow many cars on circuit at once. The downside is you have to queue. And as a result, I didn't do many laps until about 11:30 this morning. By 11:30, I'd only done 15 miles. It's because I wanted to bed in my new brakes. And so I went out there, bedded in my brakes, came in, let them cool down, had to queue up to go out, and then I had to queue up to go out a second time. Now I think the brakes were ready for a proper go, and because the queue was so long, I decided to put it in neutral, pull the handbrake up and turn the engine off. And I'm not really used to waiting with the handbrake on in neutral and I'm waiting to go on circuit, because normally it's fairly fast. But what happened was the guy waved me, and me feeling, oh right, let's go, I left the handbrake on, and I didn't realise I had left the handbrake on until 2 laps. I was worried because the car wasn't handling very well for obvious reasons now, and it took me 2 laps to recognise that the red light was there. So I had to pull in, which meant I then had to wait for the brakes to cool down. The brakes were smoking, the rear brakes. It was more the rear left, the rear right didn't seem to be too affected. So I think the brakes work more on the rear left on this car, the handbrake does anyway, than the rear right. It's not perfectly even, I guess. So by the time I actually got out to do some laps, it was after 11:30. So I've wasted a little bit of the day, which is a shame. But I am glad they don't allow too many cars on circuit at once. That's part of the reason why I'm enjoying it here. I think I'm enjoying it more for that than the actual circuit itself. It does mean you have to queue up, but I think it's a fair trade-off. Also, as a result, you don't get so much stuff kicked up at the car. You usually get bits of rubber thrown at the car, so get rubber skid marks over the car after a track day from all the cars that you're behind kicking up chunks of rubber. As there's not many cars, not many traffic, that's happening less, which is nice. So I do recommend this circuit. I don't recommend leaving your handbrake on. I feel really silly for doing that, but also I'm really infuriated with the car because this car beeps at me for everything. It beeps at me if it thinks I need a coffee. It has a little picture of a coffee that comes up when I'm driving, even though I don't drink coffee. It beeps at me if I want to change lane. I'm in lane 1, want to move to lane 2, and someone's in lane 3, and I'm like, oh, what have I missed? No, I knew I was there. It's just gets annoying after a while. And then it doesn't beep at me when I actually needed it to. And I can't think of a car I've driven in the last sort of 10 years that doesn't beep if I accidentally leave the handbrake on, because I have done it before. It does happen, but normally it goes ding, 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 and you realise straight away. So I would like less of the other beeps and more of the beeps that actually matter, please, Mazda. Okay, well, I've had a bit of practice, or a bit of extra practice, and hopefully I'm a bit quicker here. I'll tell you some of the different things I'm doing. Firstly, I'm less scared of this. I'm kind of used to the bumps. They're not bothering me as much now. And instead of braking twice here, I leave it later and brake once and ease off the brake and go down 2 gears and try and maintain more speed through here if I can. Maybe I broke a little bit late there. Probably better for me to go down 1 gear at a time, but it's just all a bit too much. This is very similar to how I was doing it. Maybe I'm carrying a little bit more speed through as I'm getting more confident, and I let off the gas here less just to get my car position full throttle already into the inside apex. Just about missed the outside apex there, it's not a big deal. Just overall taking the corners a little bit faster, braking a little bit later. This is definitely faster now. I'm going through here. Whoop. See, starting to slide the car a little bit there. It's getting to the limits of traction, and you know you're getting to the limit of your car. Another place I'm a bit quicker is up here. I brake a little bit less and go a bit faster. So that speed, there we go, all the way to the outside there. And I think that's about as quick as I can handle for today. Yep, not going to do much better than that. I'm really struggling with Avon Rise. It's a part of the circuit where cars are catching up with me. Cars that aren't catching up with me in other parts, they're catching up with me there. So I'm obviously doing something wrong. I was braking twice, once on the hill off the brake, slight left, and then once again before the right. And I've seen a lot of other drivers do that. And now I'm braking once to try and get there a bit faster. And I'm not sure if that's making me any quicker or not. I would have to time it to know. Someone has given me advice to stay to the right for as long as possible and brake up the hill. That's not really working for me either. So either I got the wrong end of the stick or it's just a different car. But that's part of the fun of track days. You're trying to learn the fastest way around the circuit, experiment with different lines, when to brake and how fast you can take the corner. The car's being terrific, still hasn't put a foot wrong. I know I was complaining about the handbrake not binging at me. I mean, it's not the car's fault really, it's just infuriating that it bings at me all the time, and it doesn't the one time I actually need it to. But I've got 15.7 miles to the gallon, over 116.9 miles. Not many miles today, unfortunately. I did waste quite a bit this morning. And on the way there, or should I say here, on the way here, because I'm still here, I got 48 miles per gallon. I'm not sure on the tyre wear or brake wear, but I'll work it out when I get home and I'll put it on screen now so you can see how much the track day cost. Usually track days cost from between 400 and 600 pounds all in, so they aren't cheap. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to get my future videos. And until the next one, cheerio.